fellow collectors, welcome back to Brave's Toy Review. I am your host, Brave, and today we are taking a look at, or rather, we are building the movie Giantman, which is the BAF for the Giantman wave, right? That wave comes with the figures that you see pictured here, which I'll also be reviewing in some order, in some fashion, but I figure that the BAF is more important to get to. Okay, so each one of these parts came with a particular one of the figures you see standing before you here. And individually, they look pretty good, pretty decent. Giantman, as you can see, isn't going to have a humongous ab crunch. But we're just going to run through the parts right quick before we actually put them together to see how everything is. He's got sneakers with a tongue. I don't know how I feel about that. Opposite leg here. All right, we got all our parts check. We got an arm here, check. All right, got an arm here. Okay, check. And we have a head. All right, I like that head. Okay, so we're gonna put this thing together right quick, right fast. And it's not too hard. You can put these legs together right here, and you can see under them which leg goes on which side, right? Yeah, that's true. You can do that. All right. So we're going to pop that in there, and that's pretty secure. I'm going to pop this one in. And these are on like little kind of mushroom type eggs. And that's pretty secure. And though he isn't the hugest, he is kind of a tall guy here. So we're going to have to lift him up once it's time to put the head on. Matter of fact, let's lift the camera up now. Getting tall, getting tall. All right, going to put the left arm in, his left, your right. And that went surprisingly easy. All right. That peg made me think it was going to be a little bit harder to get it in. That arm was kind of scrawny for some reason. And then here's the other one. And I like to leave it up and then plug it in and then go down. I don't like to go down, I'm just saying. All right, so there you go. So there he is. He's all legged and headed and armed up. And now he'll form the head on that humongous ball up there. There we go. All right, and now your Giantman is all gianty. So gianty, in fact, that I'll have to pause this and raise the camera up. All right, fellow collectors, so here we go. We got him up. Okay, so let me say this before we go any further with the review. So far, this has been a really good wave, even though we've gotten a few figures in here that I think we've gotten a bit too many of, but that's neither here nor there. I was a fan in the Ant-Man wave for the Ant-Man movie. I was a fan of the mold for that particular character, the movie Ant-Man. And I typically am never a fan of movie figures, but so far I will say that Hasbro has done the undoable and made me a fan of their movie molded figures. Again, being that Ant-Man, and in this case being the BAF. Not so much for the size though, but just the actual overall mold. All right, and then of course for T'Challa back there, the Black Panther. That figure is really awesome. Okay, so take a look at him from head to toe. All right, he's got some of the same articulation you would expect him to have as a Marvel Legend, so I'm not going to get too heavy into that. What I will deal with is the helmet. The head sculpt is freaking fantastic. Look at that. Look at that head sculpt. That is fantastic. I like the fact that the you can still have the translucent plastic here, and you can see the eyes inside behind him. I would have liked, which you're not going to get this from Hasbro, but I would have liked to have either an alternate head that has the mask up, or this same head. I would preferably have this same head with the mask able to go up and down. I mean, why not? Why not? But the detail on this is pretty good. The mold is really nice. The sculpt is really nice. Dig that sculpt out there. I like that sculpt. And you got a little bit of texturing there. And I dare say, I want to say some dry brushes up in there. And I'm not sure that's just like the different contours of plastic there. I don't know, but it looks good. You got a little bit of blue in there to bring some life to it. See that there with the black trimming around the eyes, around the lenses. That looks really great. So this they really succeed in selling you a movie accurate figure here. And then you have the silver ribs around the neck piece there with the blue. there along this piece here, and then you have some texture on the jacket, which is what I really liked about the Ant-Man figure as well. So it looks really good, and that texture continues around here with the red and the burgundy and the black there with the silver, and that texture continues around here even into the elbow there, and the silver here on the gauntlet, as well as the leathery hands there. So they really give a very convincing model here of that figure. Looking at some blue here in the fronts of the belt, and then the gray. It's gray plastic. It's not really like a silver. It's more of a gray plastic here. I dig the way those lines come down. They really went texture heavy on this one, so you can at least feel it. Look at that butt. So he's got a little bit of cheek spread action there, cheek curve action there in the to give the appearance of actual cloth there. So that's pretty cool with some wrinkles there as well. And that texture comes down the leg all around here, and it lines up pretty well. And there's no gapping. Most importantly, there's no gapping there where you join the leg, the lower thigh leg pieces to the upper thigh leg piece, which goes on to the body. And again, these are pretty secure. Like, I'm pretty sure if I put force on it, it may come out, but it's not just popping out, dropping off. So the build is pretty good. Again, all the articulation you would expect from it being a Marvel Legend. Not really cool with the sneakers, though, with the tongue. I'm not really cool with the dunk style sneaker there. I'm not really digging that. But again, it does do what it's supposed to do. His standing is, well, here's what I'm learning with the newer Legends as they come out. And really, if you look back even at the Toywiz stuff and earlier Hasbro is possible too, you had to kind of move these joints around a little bit, just to get them a little bit loose, so that way they can, when you go to stand them up, they can kind of like pop into place, because they're all kind of like on soft ratchets, right? So once you've done that, it's not so stiff, and he can actually stand like he should. You got that deal, which is a hinge there, and then you have that pivot point there inside of the foot. So he's got some pretty good ranges of motion there, as you would expect with a Legend. And again, like I said, that ab crunch is not too much. But then with him supposedly being Giantman, what's going to be above him, right? I would have wanted more down, but you get the headband, so that still works, right? So yeah, that's pretty much Giantman. Looks pretty decent. Can't complain about it. It's not really the Giantman I know and love, because again, I am a Classics Marvel fan, so I like the bigger Giantman, which was the Toywiz BAF. And let me throw this out there to you guys. Would you have preferred to see, even if it makes the set more expensive, would you prefer to see a few more characters in this set? Like, let's say putting in, what was his name? Falcon. I'm sorry, Hawk. Falcon, maybe putting a Falcon in here, maybe, and I don't know, maybe even a Spider-Man. I don't know, because it's a Civil War series, right? And in that way, allowing yourself to have a larger Giantman, because you could split some of these other pieces up to make him bigger, right? So how would you have felt about adding maybe 2 to 4 more characters to this wave, just so you could have a larger Giantman in the way that you did with the Toywiz one? Or is this good enough for you? Is this scale big enough for you? I mean, I know as far as Giantman goes, the original one, he's quite a bit taller than this one, maybe even about a torso taller, because he's a pretty big guy. But tell me what you think. Let me know. Hit the comments. Hit the subscribes, the likes. He just fell. Crap. Hit the subscribes, hit the likes, and all of that stuff. Let me know what you think. Is this your Giantman, or do you still want the Toywiz Giantman? Is he big enough for you, or would you rather had some extra figures added to the wave so you could have more parts and make him larger? Hey, until next time, I am Brave. This is Brave's Toy Review, and I'm out of here, homie. Out of here.